Welcome to Multiplying Integers. Things to remember in multiplying integers. First, it is a dimensional operation. It is binary, 2 at a time. Multiplication table is a tool. Now, in using this one, in this presentation, we have now orange as positive 1 and then yellow as negative 1. Let's have now an analysis of multiplication table and a model. Now, an example is 2 times 3, that is 6. So let's have this one as a dimension for the dimension. So you have now 2, you have now 3, and the product is 6. That's how you do the modeling. Now, when we were starting learning multiplication table is being utilized. Now, this is a part of multiplication table. Now, when you multiply 2 and 3, the intersection is 6. Now, getting now on the two models, so we can say that's why multiplication is dimensional, because you're working on 2 dimensions when you're multiplying. That's why it's binary. And the multiplication table is a tool. That's why we don't memorize it. Let's have now our rules in multiplying integers using now the model. So 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. Now we can say that like signs, the answer is positive. Now another set of models that a negative times a positive, that's a negative. And then a positive times a negative, that is a negative. So unlike sign, the answer is negative. Let's have now we're setting up. So like the addition and subtraction video, we have here now the model. So we have now orange is positive 1, then yellow is negative 1. And then the abstract or solution using the integers, or the usual way in solving operations in integers. Let's have an example, 5 times 3. Now, in the model, we have now the dimension, so that you have now your horizontal dimension and then the vertical dimension. Now, in the horizontal, we have now 5. So, and then we have now 3. Now, multiplying 1 at a time. So, 1 times 1, that's 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Times 1 is 1 and 1. So, expediting the process. Working on that, so the answer is 15. Now, in abstract and solution, we have now 5 times 3. Technically, the answer is 15. Let's have now another example, which is negative 4 times negative 4. Now, the dimension is already there. So, let's have now the first one, the model. So, you have now negative 4, that's yellow. Another, for the vertical, it's negative 4. Now, multiplying that one at a time, so you have now an orange, versus negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So, continuing that, so we have that. So, expediting. So, we have now 16. So, in abstract or solution, we have now negative 4 times negative 4. That is now 16. Another example is negative 2 times 6. Now, let's have now the model. The horizontal, it's negative 2. Then the vertical is 6. So now let's have another dimension. So multiplying that one at a time. So negative 1 times 1, that's negative 1. Negative 1 times 1, that's negative 1. So expediting now the process, the answer would be negative 12. Now in abstract or solution, we have now negative 2 times 6. The answer is negative 12. Let's have now 5 times negative 4. In the model, let's have now the horizontal, that's 5. Then the vertical is negative 4. Now having now the dimension, having that one at a time, so that's negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. And now negative 1 and negative 1. Expediting, so the dimension will lead you to negative 20. Now, in an abstract or solution, when you write that, it's 5 times negative 4. 5 times negative 4, and then that will be negative 20.